First, thanks for coming today and hearing about our company. We have a lot of big news being reported this week that I'm able to actually break out here first, and so I'm looking forward to talking about this with you. This is the really exciting part of the presentation. There are pretty pictures in the background. So a little bit of teaser to keep you interested. Medicimen Technologies is a first mover in this space. We started this company in 2014 based on our industry knowledge of how to produce cannabis industrially. At the time, very few people knew how to do that. We'd been in the business already for 5 years, growing, retailing, et cetera, cannabis in Colorado. And we formed this company because people all over the country had the desire, the money, the business acumen to get into the business, but didn't have the know-how. And we provided that know-how. And since that time, we've helped well over 100 clients in 17 states and 7 countries win licenses, design and build facilities, train employees, get systems up and running, get their doors open, give them the turnkey solutions to start this business. At the point where we were, at that moment, instead of having them relearn all of our lessons from the past, we've since grown the company to include other lines of service, including helping people that are in the space that weren't performing up to their standards and needed help. We went to help them and made them better. We have also added products to our lineup, including best-in-class nutrient line called Success Nutrients. I'll talk a little bit later about Josh Haupt, who's on our team now. We acquired 3Alite, his technology, which included Success Nutrients. But in addition, he literally wrote the book on how to grow cannabis. It's called 3Alite. We've sold over $1 million worth of copies of that book right now. And it's been a tremendous addition to our line. We've made an acquisition recently of Big Tomato, which is a supply company for the cannabis space. So we sell all the consumables that cultivators need in order to grow cannabis. Everything from scissors and nets to soils and pots and everything in between. So we're a vertically integrated supply and service company for cannabis. But right now, and in last year, we grew over 157% year over year to over $9 million with about 26% profit. So, the company is very healthy. The big announcement, the big pivot for us this year is something that we've planned from the very beginning, which is to become an operator in this space. So this is something I do. I also own Medicine Man and MedFarm, which is a fully vertically integrated cannabis company in Colorado. We're a leader there. And we've announced the acquisitions of those 2 companies. Once these acquisitions are complete this year, our revenues will grow just on what we're doing today to over $40 million a year. That's exciting. We're going to have explosive growth in our company this year, pivoting from a service and products company in the cannabis space to an operator products and service company in the space. I'll talk a little bit more about MedFarm and Medicine Man Denver. So Medicine Man has a large cultivation facility and 4 retail locations, both in the medical and recreational markets. We've been a leader in the space since the beginning. We're profitable. Colorado is a very competitive market, and we do very well there. MedFarm. I started MedFarm. It actually opened its doors in November of 2017, so not too long ago. We started selling products in March of 2018, and we're already at a run rate at $2.5 million a year with projected run rate next year of getting up to $6 million a year. The products that we're creating are being fast adopted by the consumers in Colorado as best in class. The reason for that is the way we set this up. When I started MedFarm with my partners, it was because I wanted to research cannabis. I kept hearing from lawmakers about needing more studies and things like that. And so I went out to find the best-in-class people to help me out with that. One of my partners is a 45-year compound pharmacist. He owns a company called Nucara out of Iowa. He has 35 compound pharmacies and pharmacies around the United States, award-winning compound pharmacist with lots of patents under his belt. brilliant in the space. Another one of my partners is Chris Nelson. He owns Kemin Industries out of Iowa, arguably one of the world's largest plant extractors on the planet. He grows plants in 15 countries on 6 continents, extracts from those plants and creates ingredients for nutraceuticals, animal feed, pet feed, and human consumption. And he sells 3.7 billion doses of his ingredients on a daily basis. So in the combination of the genetics and the extraction that Chris brings, the pharmaceuticals and compounding that TJ brings, and the marijuana that I bring, we have a very unique team. And so the line of products that we've created there are second to none. They're pharmaceutical grade. They're created in a facility that's GMP certified. We have the capability of producing any kind of dosage form that you might want, including those for research. Sterile dosage forms for research purposes only, like injectables or eye drops, things that have to be created in a sterile environment in order to be used to protect people. And in that process, we've received the only research license for a cannabis operator in Colorado. So we possess a research license that allows us to work directly with clinical researchers in the state in order to do clinical trials for cannabis, increase the knowledge, the body of knowledge in the cannabis space. But in the process, we've made some great brands that are selling well. Become and Batch and Alleviar, all products focused in the pharmaceutical grade environment of the marketplace. The deal flow we get through MedPharm is tremendous because there's not a lot of people doing what we're doing. You know, we have 35-year compound pharmacist as one of our chief formulations guys, a PhD chemist doing the same thing. We have a licensee in Iowa called MedPharm Iowa, using our technology and our brands and our, all of our IP in order to conduct business there. We're working on getting a research license in Pennsylvania. I do believe we're going to be successful at that. And we have a deal going on in Colombia to be fully licensed there. That, of course, is still under discussion, but I think that's an exciting opportunity to not only advance research there under a different set of regulations, but also to be a low-cost, high-quality producer of cannabis for the world. We will be revenue positive or profitable in 2019 with that company. Medicine Man has won a tremendous amount of awards over the years, and just recently, the award most important to me, most valued to me, we've won, which is Best Place to Work in the Cannabis Industry in Colorado. We're the only one to receive the award in Colorado, and among the best in the United States, and I am very proud of that. Whoops. Our leadership team, of course, myself as CEO, but we also have Josh Haupt. Josh is known as the Steve Jobs of cannabis cultivation. If you look him up, you'll find all kinds of articles talking about that. He wrote the book on how to grow cannabis called 3-A-Light. And 3-A-Light refers to the fact that he was getting 3 pounds of light when he wrote the book, which is a good feat in the cannabis space. But we have far surpassed that measurement now. But the book sells very well. Jonathan Sandberg is our CFO. Joe Pugliese, who's in the room, was just added as Chief Operating Officer. He has a wealth of experience from the media world, iHeartMedia. He's run big operations and grown them to much bigger. He's a great asset for our team. And Paul Dickman is our Chairman of the Board, very experienced in microcap markets, the founder of Breakwater, a boutique merchant bank for the cannabis industry. He's been with me working on Medicine Technologies for 5 years now. So what makes us different? I've been going around listening to everybody talk today about their vision, and they all sound very similar, which is we want to be big, we want to be global, we want to dominate. And do I have the same ambition? Yes, I do have that same ambition. But why are we different from all of them? The reason is how we started and the expertise that we have, the abilities that we bring. We started in this business in 2009. We invented how to grow cannabis industrially. And we did this, though, with very little amount of money. My first investment into my company was $150,000. And so we figured this out, and over time we got better and better. We made some very costly mistakes, but margins were good, and we could afford those mistakes. But we learned those lessons. We've learned lessons that some of these guys just getting into the game have never even thought of yet and have already solved. And we became successful in the markets that we're in, which are very competitive, and we're leading them. We've also helped grow the industry through legislative efforts, state, local, federal level. We are the pioneers in this industry, among them. So that's how we got our knowledge. Then we formed Medicine Man Technologies, and we started getting expertise all over the country. Every state or country that we go to, we have to be experts in the local rules and regulations. So we've developed that in 17 states now, in 7 countries. We have connections there with our clients. We're trusted. People trust us. They look to us for advice on what to do and how to do it. All of these assets are going to be pivotal for us moving forward because not only, well, I'll get into that in a minute. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Then we acquired 3-Elite and Success Nutrients. We increased our ability to grow cannabis in both yield and quality. The addition of Josh Haupt to our team really put us way ahead of the competition. One of the reasons we're successful as consultants is because we can tell people what we're going to do. We can show people PowerPoints of what we're going to do, but then we can show them what we do. And there's not a lot of consultants that can do that. And the data that we tell them, that we grow over 800 grams per square foot per year of quality cannabis, can be proven by our metric data in the Colorado state system. It's not just what we tell them. That's why we're successful in this. Then we started expanding our product and service lines to vertical integration with Big Tomato. I've talked about that. We're now supplying these companies that we have relationships with all over the place with the supplies that they need in order to conduct business, as well as giving ourselves a discount on the things that we buy, which is kind of nice. But now we're going to be leveraging that experience to own and manage our own operations. And this is something that we've planned from the beginning. And why now? Why are we doing that now? Why did we wait to 2019 to begin this process? Well, in Colorado, there's a law preventing cannabis companies from being owned by a public company. And we've been working on changing this law for a number of years. We're successful passing a bill last year that the governor vetoed. This year, we have a new governor, and Governor Polis is going to sign this. He's been pushing for it. The House bill that's running right now is House Bill 1090. 1090, if passed as written, would be effective 60 days after signing, and then a 90-day period for approval by the Enforcement Division, and these deals can be consummated. This is what we've been waiting for. In Colorado, we're especially well positioned. Of course, all my friends are in the industry there, and they trust us. And they all see what's going on all over the country with these acquisitions and the big money that's being thrown around, and they want to take part in that. And they ask me, I want to be acquired. I want to be part of what you're doing. So we're uniquely set up to roll up the Colorado industry where we choose to. And this is the most mature